So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 2 different types of consultations and exactly what I did to get myself to 80 new clients in a single month at an $80 price point. So a consultation is basically a barber interaction with the client to understand what the goal of the haircut is. That way we know an idea of what we're about to get done. And there's 2 ways that we can go about this video. We can either do a skit, or we could do a problem-based consultation where we solve basically the client's problem and we focus strictly on that. Or we could do a skit where we do a funny video and it's basically just bringing attention to what we're doing. So skits bring in viewers and engagement, shows off the personality, and builds a following. People will learn to enjoy you and enjoy your content regardless of the haircut. Problem-based consultations are good with client conversion. They build trust and they call out a specific clientele to attract those higher paying clients. So first thing we could do is start with problem-based, because that is what we're really looking for when it comes to client conversion. So we could start off with the hook. The best hook that you can do right now is calling out a location. So as the barber, you'll say, are you from the Orlando area? Are you from the Dallas area? Are you from the Bakersfield area? Client's gonna say, nah bro, I'm from Miami. Nah bro, I'm from Austin. Nah bro, I'm from LA. The algorithm is basically gonna pick up both locations and allow the algorithm to know where to push the video out to. Once we got the hook down, we go straight into a problem. So we're going to probe the client to give us a problem. So we're going to ask a question that allows for them to give us their main problem. So the barber says, what is your main concern with your hair? The client's going to say, my hair is really flat and I struggle with styling it. This is going to allow for the viewer to say, okay, I have those same problems. Let me book an appointment with him, because if he could solve it for him, then he could solve it for me, right? So after we get that out the way, we're going to build trust with the viewer. So you're going to have the client sell you as the barber. So you're going to say, as the barber, what makes you come to me compared to other barbers in the area? The client's going to say, other barbers just don't add the texture I need. I hear you are the texturizing specialist. And we're going to use specifically the problem that we're fixing with this haircut, as well as us being a specialist at that specific problem. That's going to build trust with the viewer. Again, allowing the viewer to see that this guy fixed this problem for this person and many others. Therefore, I'm confident that he can do that with me as well. So lastly, we're going to want to raise the stakes and create anticipation for the transformation that we're about to make. So we do that by us, the barber, asking, so what plans you got coming up that we need this cut for? You could phrase this in many different ways, but ideally, the type of answer that we're looking for is, yeah, my wedding is this weekend and it has to be perfect or my wife is going to be furious. So now this creates anticipation to keep viewers engaged and give them a reason as to why this haircut is so important, and basically showing them that you don't fold under pressure and that you are consistent with your work. So after this, you would just go into the before and after, and it will confirm everything that we just went over right here, basically proving yourself right. Okay, so you were able to fix the problem, you added the texture, and you proved in fact you are the texturizing specialist, and the anticipation that you created was worth it because they got the payoff, which was the great transformation, and now he's going to look great for his wedding and his wife is going to be very happy, and that's what we want the comment section full of. Okay, so boom, we have that, and then we have the skits. So the skits, like I said, do a great job of bringing in viewers and engagement. It shows off the personality and it builds a following because people learn to love you for your character and your personality, just like you would for any TV show. So same concept, we start with the hook. Typically here, you could start with a reveal, having a client wear a hat, a beanie, anything to kind of cover up the hair. The barber can say, I'm supposed to cut you with this beanie on. The client's going to remove the beanie and the barber's going to give an exaggerated reaction. Something very exaggerated. That way the client can really feel exactly what's going on, and we create that emotion for the viewer instead of forcing them to rely on it. So instead of going to a problem first, like we did here on the problem based, we're going to go straight into raising the stakes and creating anticipation for what's about to come. So the client's going to say, bro, I'm going out with this new girl tonight and she hates guys with this haircut. I need you to save me. So this can really be for anything. Again, we just want to make it a lot more engaging, a lot more entertaining, and a lot more fun. So whatever it is, we need to make sure that we are adding something that's going to make the viewer engaged and raise the importance of why this haircut is needed and why we need to perform well. So here, now we're going to diagnose the client with a problem. So as the barber, you're going to literally show off his hairline, show off his forehead. It's going to say, bro, your forehead is huge and your hairline is cooked. I'm going to try to cover it with a textured fringe. So we gave him two problems. So as the viewer watching, they will be able to relate to having a huge forehead or a cooked hairline, a hairline that's not straight, receding, whatever the case may be. And then I'm going to try and cover it with the textured fringe, which is the best solution. The reason I said try is because that creates more anticipation for what's to come, especially with the stakes that we have here. So, bro, your forehead is huge and your hairline is cooked. I'm going to try and cover it with a textured fringe. And then we're going to build trust by having the client relate to the viewer and making them feel like, okay, he was once in my shoes as well. So the client's going to say, I saw your work on TikTok and everyone said you were the best at adding big foreheads, so I trust you. And then the barber's going to say, let's hope I can make this miracle happen again, and walk off the screen. This is basically going to, again, create the anticipation by not giving a guarantee that we're able to do this, but still allowing for the viewer to wait and see if it's going to happen, because again, they're suffering from the same problem and the stakes are high right now. This is going to allow us to stand out from the rest of the market because it's very creative, it's very fun, it's very engaging. It works the best with recurring clients or clients with an outgoing personality that brings in a lot of attention and followers, and it builds a relationship with the viewer because they can get a sense of who you are by these fun skit type of videos and consultations. They do bring in clientele, but it's just not as much as the problem-based consultations. So the problem-based consultations have the highest client conversion rate of any content in the barbering industry. It builds authority and shows expertise. And you could do this with any client, and it targets a very niche clientele. So if you are very good at hairlines and lineups, and you make consistent videos on strictly this, your clientele is going to be full of people that need their hairline fixed. So with these together, the way that we're able to bring those 80 to 100 new clients a month is because we get high follower count and engagement. We create a loyal following of people that always want to interact with our videos, pushing us even further. These get us booked up. We attract higher paying clientele because we're solving a specific problem. We show our personality, which attracts people and makes them want to stay with us long term. And we build a brand, basically saying, people know me for this. People know that I'm this type of person. I rock with this. I enjoy these types of things. You build trust with the viewer, basically knowing that they're going to get exactly what they came for. They know that you're going to perform when it comes to their exact problem. And you have consistent content with these two. Because you can do this on everyone and you can do this with people that have personality, you can pretty much record every single client and get a great video out of it that at least does exactly what we need it to do. So this is the exact formula to get this type of clientele. If you're looking for more content like this, like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram.